Now then, early this week, new research showed that the number of middle-aged women seeking treatment for HIV is 5 times higher than it was a decade ago.
Well, the study comes as HIV Charity, the Terrence Higgins Trust, urges more people to get tested for the virus. And here now to prove just how easy it is, we're joined by Dr Ranj. And you had the test with you at the beginning of the show.
Just done it. Took a few minutes, literally 2 minutes to get my result. And thankfully, it's non-reactive or negative. And really great guide in this little test here that tells you.
So where do you get it from? How much is it?
So there's lots of different ways to be tested for HIV. In the past, the tests have taken a really, really long time, but actually we now have these rapid test kits that you can do in your own home. So you can go to a hospital or a clinic and get tested, or you can order one of these kits online. This one costs £15. It's available at startswithme.org.uk. And the whole point of all of this is HIV Testing Week is launching on Saturday, and it's in the run-up to World AIDS Day on the 1st, and it is to encourage people to get tested, know your status, and if you're positive, get treated straight away. Because actually, if you're on effective treatment, you can have a normal life expectancy, just like anybody else who doesn't have the condition, and if your viral load or the amount of virus that's in your blood is undetectable, you cannot pass it on to your partners, even if you have unprotected sex.
Bravely and publicly proved by Gareth.
Yes, and Gareth's got involved along with Prince Harry and the new HIV Commission, work out new ways of how we can get more people tested and treated. And it's really worrying. I'm going to give you some statistics. Some of them are really good and some of them are a bit worrying, actually. There's about 37 million people globally who live with HIV. 1 in 14 people who are HIV positive don't know they are. And of all the HIV diagnoses in the UK, about 50% are men who have sex with men. The other 50% are heterosexual people. It disproportionately affects Black African men and women. And of the diagnoses that actually happen late, about 40% of diagnoses happen late. The majority of those people are heterosexual and older.
Right, okay.
So it's really, really important for people to get tested.
And symptoms of HIV? This is a difficult one.
It's a tricky one because actually, unless you develop full-blown AIDS, you may not get symptoms that you recognise. So when you're infected with HIV, you have a period of time where your body doesn't really do very much, you don't get any symptoms, and then your body starts to react to the virus. It's called seroconversion. You start to develop antibodies. That's when you can get a flu-like illness. You can get fever, sore throat, body aches and pains, a rash. But a lot of people just confuse it for something else, and they may not even know. And that's why it's really, really important to know your status. Older women sometimes confuse the symptoms of HIV seroconversion with the menopause, and that's really, really worrying. Right. And we know that older women, there's been a 5-fold increase in older women who are being treated for HIV in the last 10 years. Well, lots of different reasons. Firstly, that age group of older women aren't used to being tested for STDs and HIV, so they may not necessarily be the group that goes for regular testing. Secondly, generally speaking, this is a great thing, women are more sexually liberal. That's a great thing. Some of these women are menopausal, so they may not be using condoms or contraception and therefore are at risk of picking up other conditions like HIV, as well as everything else. And one of the reasons is that divorce rates have gone up and people are changing partners a lot more than they used to. These are all reasons why older people may contract STDs and HIV and therefore should definitely get tested.
And so, as you said at the beginning of this, a simple way to go and get tested, you can go see your GP, you can go to a clinic, or you can order one of these online, because I think people do get embarrassed about this sort of stuff, don't they?
Do you know what? There used to be a lot of stigma around HIV testing because, you know, what if you have a positive result and what impact is it going to have in your life? You're going to have to tell people. Stigma has changed. We are generally better at accepting the condition, and because it is a condition we can now manage and treat and you don't pass on, the feelings around that have completely changed. So there isn't so much of this anxiety, but if you do feel anxious about doing the test at home by yourself, you can go to a clinic and have a face-to-face test. But as I showed, the test at home, for some people, it's really straightforward. It means that they don't have those nerves of going into a clinic.
But if you were to have just done that and it had come back positive and you're sitting at home on your own, What do you do then?
So, fortunately, this particular kit comes with instructions inside of exactly who to contact. There's a helpline number for the Terrence Higgins Trust for advice and follow-up. If you do get a positive result, you have to go and get it confirmed by a healthcare professional. Doesn't necessarily mean you're definitely positive, but you have to get it double-checked. There is a phone line there that you can call. You can just speak to any healthcare professional for advice and they will let you know what to do. You're not by yourself.
And prevention?
Prevention, yeah. So, first and foremost, knowing your status. Testing and knowing your status so you know what to do. Secondly, protection, so condoms, other barrier methods. The third thing, which has kind of revolutionised the treatment of HIV and prevention, is something called PrEP, which is pre-exposure prophylaxis, which is taking HIV medication regularly or in advance of having unprotected sex, and it actually reduces your risks of passing it on. Now, that isn't available universally on the NHS at the moment. It's available in England and parts of Wales as part of a trial. In Scotland, they are trying to roll it out to everybody. If you are at higher risk of contracting HIV, then you may be offered it for free on the NHS anyway.
OK.
And the startswithme.org.uk is how you can get involved with the Terrence Higgins campaign. Give HIV the finger. Thank you.